So if I were to tell you the 3 things that I hope you have in your home for the remainder of 2021, 1 would be a pinky ball, 2 would be some kind of sex toy, and 3 is I hope an outfit that makes you feel really, really great. Most important, the pinky ball. We're gonna use it to try to release again some of that neck and shoulder tension that we tend to feel because this week we're focusing on arms. So you're gonna lay all the way down onto your back to start. On your upper shoulder, imagine the middle of your workday where you wish someone would really shove a thumb is where you're trying to place the ball on your back. As soon as you unravel yourself back out onto that right side, you should be like, okay, hello. Once you feel like you've found your right spot, pause for a second and shift your body just a little bit up or down, right or left, and see if you can find anything that feels a little bit more tender. Once you've located your perfect spot, bend the right arm and try to make a 90-degree angle and then see if you can freeze. Half of the challenge here is actually allowing gravity to assist. So for your next 2 to 3 breaths, let your eyes close. Try to feel your body genuinely getting a little heavier and closer to the mat each time you exhale. Maybe take one last fidget up or down and really try to find your sweet spot on that upper back, usually left resting in your superficial trap. Yeah, the top part of that trap that likes to do so much of our work for us. Feel your shoulder relax away from your ear, and then we're going to start to move that right arm. Opening the arm out to the side, letting your elbow and your arm come as close to the floor as you can. Exhale, feel yourself try to soften the shoulder a little from the ear, bringing the arm back to where you started. Second range of motion is the arm is going to extend over your head. Elbow coming back in. Again, trying to feel yourself give into gravity, letting your shoulder stay as wide open to the side as it can. Never being afraid to take a small shift if it feels like the ball has come out of the spot that feels really good. If this is plenty for you today, I want you to just stick with these 2 ranges of motion. If you are like, okay, this feels good, but maybe it could get a little bit more intense, the next time that your arm is in your 90-degree angle, elbow stacked on top of the shoulder, stretch the arm all the way to the ceiling. Begin to cross the arm over the midline towards the left, bringing the upper arm as close to the nose as you can. Let it reach up towards the ceiling. Keeping the arm as close to the floor as you can, opening the arm out to the side, and then letting the arm come down by your side toward your butt. You will take 2 more. Crossing the midline low by your pelvis, staying across the midline, coming close to the nose as the arm reaches next to the ear. Take an exhale, try to soften the body, opening the arm out to the side. 1 more time. Good. Next time you arrive with your arm out to the side, go ahead and grab that ball with your hand. Let yourself rest all the way flat on the floor and just see if you can feel a difference between your upper right shoulder and your left. My left shoulder feels extremely rotated forward and elevated off the floor in comparison to this new wide and open shoulder on the right. Attempt to try to find that same spot on the left. Again, being not afraid to shift your body up and down a couple times to try to arrive at a spot that feels, oh, hi. So you'll make a 90-degree angle with that arm to start, and letting your eyes come back to close if they've opened. Try to find a couple deep breaths here where you genuinely feel your body giving into gravity. Inhale to try to fill yourself up. And then as you exhale, trying to let your limbs turn off even more, everything sinks heavier. Once you feel like you're pretty heavy in space, starting to open the left arm out to the side. Bringing that left arm back to close. Reach it over your head. Bringing it back to close. Notice the points in time for yourself where you want to rush because it's relatively painful. Try to make sure that you are feeling yourself soft in the rest of the body. No need to clench the jaw. And if this feels nice on this side, letting yourself start to turn this into that arm circle, crossing your midline, coming down towards the butt, reaching off to the side. Again, notice where your body wants to get tense when this becomes a little bit more sensational. Good. When you are ready, grabbing that pinky ball with your hand. Let yourself shake that out a bit. Come all the way up for me and feel yourself turn over so that you are laying on your belly. So as you find your stomach, the goal is to try to place the ball so that it is in between your armpit and your sternum, about halfway in between. You're gonna set it there, and then you're gonna try to feel yourself lay down on top of it as heavy as you can. I have it on the left side. Right hand is gonna make a pillow for my forehead so that it has somewhere to rest. And left arm is gonna try to make a 90-degree angle, kind of like you were just doing when you were on your back. Left arm is gonna stretch over your head. And then it's gonna bend back into 90 degrees. If you don't feel anything, shift yourself right or left, finding yourself a little bit in a different position. Arm reaching overhead, arm coming back in. If you are still having trouble feeling it, try to elevate your left elbow farther away from the floor so that you are stretching through the front of the pec as you apply pressure to it. Like most things, one problem causes another. So tightness at the front of the chest leads to tightness at the back of the shoulders and upper back because they are connected, and left is hard. One more here. Good, letting your arm relax, feel your body just soften into the ball. Holding your arm down on the floor, try to rotate your upper arm bone, so thinking your shoulder down towards the floor. And then let it relax back open. Doing what we tell you not to do. Rotating the shoulder down towards the floor and releasing back. You are here for 4. Applying as much pressure on that ball as you feel comfortable for 3. Last 2. And 1 more. Perfect. Take that ball out from the left side, switch your situation, in between the shoulder and the sternum, pretty centered. Right arm makes a 90-degree angle, making sure that you're trying to keep your weight even on both sides of the body, elevating the right arm off of the floor, stretch your arm over your head, bending it back in. If the spot doesn't feel right, don't be afraid to move. Remember, if you are looking for more sensation, you are trying to lift the right elbow higher to the sky. Notice your breath, the back of the neck, make sure you feel length. 2 more here. Let your elbow rest in that true 90-degree angle at your side. The arm bone inside of the shoulder is trying to rotate down towards the floor. And then releasing it back open. Thinking, eliminate the space between the front of the arm and the ground. And then reopen back up. Pushing down. 2 more. Pressing down into both hands, lift yourself up and off of that ball. Find your knees, sit your weight back into your heels for a second, and just take a couple of shoulder rolls after that. Noticing the difference in how wide and relaxed you feel in that upper back. It's a huge difference. So the last one that we're gonna do is your forearms. You might be like, what, my forearms? But your forearms get so tight. And okay, so the last one is a little bit of like pounding release for your forearms. So this is your at-home Theragun if you don't have one, you know, super simple and easy. Just making a little 90-degree angle with your arm. Feel the inside of your forearm, try to rotate a little up to the ceiling because the elbow is narrow to your side. And then take your pinky ball and just feel yourself start to take small bounces down towards your wrist and back up towards your elbow. Of course, be careful of bony landmarks. Maybe ask yourself to try to speed up and apply more aggressive pounding to feel just a little bit more release. Turn your arm in a little bit so you're trying to find outside of the forearm as well, getting all the way up towards that elbow on the outside. Good, and then pause that for a second and let yourself take 3 wrist circles to the left. And taking 3 wrist circles the opposite direction. And let that go. Grabbing same thing, little bend to the elbows, resting it at your side. Try to keep your right arm as relaxed as you can, so maybe even letting fingers droop down so that the front of the forearm can be as soft as possible. Noticing if your right arm is your dominant arm, if it feels a little bit more tender. Allow yourself to, after a little bit, start to rotate the palm to face away from the mat so that you can focus a little bit more on the outside of the forearm. Maybe speeding up, adding just a little bit more pressure. When that feels nice on that side, letting yourself just hold still and trying to take 3 circles to the right with the wrist. I didn't really talk about this on the first side, but you are really truly just trying to move your hand. Notice that my forearm is not changing in shape. And then reversing your direction, I'm definitely not as good at it in the reverse. But again, trying to move just your hand. Good, give that a little shake out and see you in class this week.